I'll illustrate how we can draw a flowchart using Canva. Drawing you can do even in the free version of Canva, but if you want to resize it to your requirement, then you need to have a pro version of Canva. So let me open my pro version Canva. And drawing flowchart is very easy and comfortable if you do it in white board. Okay, so open a blank whiteboard. So this will have no size limit. That's why we have to resize it to if you want to take it to the print or presentation. So in this, once you open the whiteboard, you will find this. This is a dotted grid. So we'll take the elements. In the elements, we have the shapes, all the shapes that are required for drawing the flowchart. For main components shape required for drawing flowcharts are the start shape to start and end the process, and then to give the input and output we will have to have this parallelogram, and to indicate the process we need to have the square or rectangle like this. And whenever we have to make a decision, we need to have a diamond shape. So here is the shape. So this is the diamond shape for taking the decision. So let me draw a flow chart, a typical flow chart where it starts with, let me remove all this. So you will find that each of the shapes, when you bring it onto the whiteboard, on all the four sides there are arrows. So for all the four sides you can add additional elements, either a line or one more shape. So these are required when we have complex flowchart, and many workflows are there. We need to have these provision, which is very helpful here. Okay, let me start. Let me take this start shape and type start within that. Usually most of the journals, magazines and thesis, usually they will specify the body font size as 12, and most of the time the font type is Times New Roman. So I will take that itself. So Times New Roman with the font size 12. So you can reduce and make this. Okay, so this is the start. So next is we have to give the input. So to this arrow which is indicating here, drag line from here. So either to get the shape, you just click on this arrow, you get the previous shape itself, but you can edit it. So now this shape is selected, and you come here. Here is the provision for editing it to a new shape. So if you click here, it opens a window here which is for editing the shapes. So now I want to input the data here. So I need a parallelogram. So I'll just come down and see that shape turns into a parallelogram. So now I'll just type here inputs. This is a very general one I'm illustrating for the purpose of illustrating how we can draw the flowchart in Canva. Okay, so after inputting, the process has to be done. So again click on this arrow, it will get the shape. Usually whatever the previous shape will come here, but that I will edit here. because now I want a rectangle or a square for representing the process. So again, edit. See, if you click it once again, it comes to shape. That will not give you the change the shape. Instead, it adds another shape like this. Say for example, so this doesn't change the original whatever we want to change the shape. It adds a new shape to it. So that's not our intention here. So we need to edit it. So select the shape you want to edit and go to edit. So you check here that edit window is open here. So now I want this to represent the process. So I'll write here process the data. Data input. Okay. So now after processing the data input, we have to check whether the process is complete or. So we need to have a decision block here. So again click on this arrow because we need to come down only. This is the simplest flowchart I am writing. So click here. So here I have to check whether the process is over or not. So I have to convert this rectangle into a diamond shape. So again go to edit. It's already in the edit mode, so you can just click on the diamond shape. So that converts it into a diamond shape. And now here check is process over. Okay. So if now there are two chances. One is the process is complete. The other one is process is not yet complete. If the process is not yet complete, what is required here is it has to take the further input, fetch the inputs and continue the process. So for that I need to have a block here to continue the process, to indicate that continue fetching the input and fetching the input. So for that I need a rectangle block. So on the right hand side arrow, click on that. Because the previous block is a diamond shape, it has given a diamond shape, but now I need a rectangle shape, so I'll convert it to a rectangle shape. So you can align properly like this. Now continue fetching data. Okay. So this has to be connected to the input side of the block where the inputs are I think okay, continue fetching the data and process the data. You just see whatever your flowchart, you just make the corrections accordingly. So now I need a line to connect from this block to the input of this process, the input data. So for that I need to have a line. So just click on this and edit, not edit. So I need to have a line. So just remove this. So this line I'll convert it to an elbow type, so that this I'll join it to continuing the process. Again this line also I'll convert it to an elbow type, so that this will be connected to the middle of that. Okay, so if you don't have the elbow here, it will connect either to the bottom of the arrow or tip of the arrow. To avoid that, convert this also to elbow type and connect this. Okay, this is if it is no. So I'll just let me take the text and write no. So if the decision is no, do this. Otherwise, if it is yes, click on this. You have to, if it is yes means all the process is over and we have to give the output. So click on this to add the next block. That block is So we need to decision block, but we don't want that. We want to convert it to a output block. Output block means a parallelogram. So just convert it to a parallelogram. Output, type output, type output. Once the output is done, you just have to stop the process. So just add one more block, convert it to a start stop block, and stop the process. Okay, so you can change the color of the block. Say suppose start block is having gray, and stop block I'll make it pink like this, and in between also you can give different colors to different blocks, and you can change the color of the text. Okay, so like this. So now the flow chart is over. So what we can do with this? I want to convert it to a size where a portrait A4 size paper. I want to take it so that it will be easy for we can take it to the printing process. For that, go to resize, which option is available only for pro versions. So resize and resize to custom size. Okay, so what is the custom size I want? It is in inches, and the A4 size is having width 8 inches and height 11 inches. So once that is over, okay, resize it to 8 by 11, copy and resize. So it will copy this and put it in a canvas of size 8 by 11 inches, and we can open it in a new window. You see that this is the A4 size. Now we don't have any margins. We can get the margins. How to get the margins? Now the rulers are already here. Otherwise you just go to file and go to settings and show rulers and guides. Okay, show rulers and guides. So you will get these rulers and guides. So you bring that and make it. So I am dragging from top two margins, one for the top and one for the bottom. And from the vertical grid line, I'll drag and align two margins, one for the left and the other for the right. Okay. So once this is over, now we can reposition this flow chart by selecting all and comfortably placing it at the middle of the page, so that it will not move out of the margin and it looks well within the margin when it is printed. So when you take it for printed, one more thing that you have to keep in mind is, when all the printings are over, when the whole thing has to be bound, then all the papers are put together and they will cut the four sides so that everything will be in a single size, so that all the papers will be of same size. So the extra space that is required to make this final cutting without altering the margin is termed as the bleeder. So to observe that there is a bleeder, go to settings, go to file and then settings, and come here, show print bleed. Because it was earlier selected, it has gone. Now go to settings and show print bleed. So you can observe here a small space is left beyond the margin, and that is for making all the pages of same size. The final trimming process will eliminate this without affecting our margin. Okay, so when you take your all the printed papers for printing and binding, it may be a journal or a book or thesis or whatever it is. When everything is printed, all the pages are set together and final trimming is done before binding. So to allow for the final trimming, a small gap is left beyond this margin, and that is termed as the print bleed space. Okay. This is how we draw the flowchart in Canva. Start with the whiteboard and then resize it. Decision block, but we don't want that. We want to convert it to